Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Open Door. I am Dr. Joss, your host, and I am super excited about tonight's topic, women in business. Now, men, I don't want you to get jealous. You don't have to go anywhere, but we're going to hone in on some things for our women. God has a plan for your life, women of God. You don't have to feel insecure or inferior to anyone. God has made us. He has anointed us. He has empowered us to be all that we can be in the kingdom of God. Tonight's show is going to allow you to harness the power that's within you. Some of you have abilities and skills and you don't know how to hone in. I have one of, I would say Florida's best leading gurus in business. I mean, this woman is going to teach us some things tonight. So I want you to brace yourself, get ready, get your pen, get your notepad. Take notes. It's time to learn. It's time to increase. It's time to get large. I don't want you to move. Don't click me out. Don't scroll. Don't go anywhere. As a matter of fact, encourage your daughter to sit next to you. This is about women in business. I remember when I was coming up, I wanted to start my business. I've always been an entrepreneur. I didn't even know that that's what I was. But I believe that tonight's show is going to help you. I didn't have really anyone to help me, but it was a God-given desire. It's something that He put inside of me that allowed me to move and to and go forward in doing the things that I am doing even up till now. So don't touch your computer. Don't shut me out. Don't shut down. Stay right there, and we'll be right back. God bless you. This is Dr. Joss, and I am coming to you again just to invite you to be a partner with me. If you've been enjoying our show, we come on every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you've been enjoying our show, why don't you partner with us, connect with us? I believe that God will direct you and, direct you in how to give and what to give. But you can donate at jraysutton.org, jraysutton.org, and click the donate button. You can also reach out to us at 1-866-GO-JRS-TV, and you can leave your message. You can say what it is that you want to do or give, and we will get back to you. I look forward to hearing from you very soon. Thank you for sticking with us. Today's guest is a professional businesswoman, a guru. She hails out of Florida. Her businesses are from Florida and really in every state. She runs the Protege consultant firm. As a matter of fact, that's where I met you, Lisa. It's so great to have you on our show.
I'm so glad to be here.
And you have really, really, number one, been a blessing to my life from day one. First of all, the first thing I heard her say was, "They better not hit my car." Isn't that something? Well, we didn't hit your car, but we had retained her services. She came by and you gave me some insight about some things. I want you to talk a little bit about yourself today. I want you to encourage a woman, a woman of God, even a man of God. But really, this show is going to hone in on women and their giftedness, their ability to, do whatever it is that they find themselves doing, whatever industry that they're in. I know you have an answer. You've helped me out so many times, and I know that you will be a blessing to the viewers out there. So can you please introduce yourself? Talk about yourself a little bit.
Welcome. Thank you. I'm always humbled anytime you reach out to me. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. My name is Lisa Darling. I am in a PhD program in psychology.
Yes.
I started this entrepreneur cycle, I would say, probably in 2000. I had worked in corporate America for a private financial company. 9/11 happened. And it was like either I sit here and watch my paycheck decline or I make something happen.
Wow.
And that making something happen started with me starting my first registered business.
Wow.
And the financial side I was on was collections and a need to help people financially. Like, how do they manage $100 or $100,000.
That's good.
So I started a small company, and it just grew. So I started taking clients, individuals come in for kind of like coaching. I didn't know that's what I was doing at the time, or mentoring them how to handle their basic finances.
Okay.
Single mothers were calling saying, Lisa, look, baby daddy haven't paid child support.
Wow.
What do I do? You know,
Yes.
I've been to child support, but how are you managing? You know, how do you do that grocery list? You know, so
Okay.
starting is something as simple, because I've been there, right? So, and using my support system, and at that time my support system was the church.
Okay.
It was a church mother. It was someone that could show me how to cut a chicken 8 ways, right? How to maximize that leg quarter, right? So if you learn and you can cook a meal and you can feed 10 children, and I don't have 10, but if you can feed a multitude and a multitude of saints, you know, after church,
Yes.
you have that one house that you go to and congregate.
Yes.
You can also believe in yourself and step out on faith and manage a corporation. So I went back to school, I got my undergrad and went into a master's program, and you know, people would just call on me. I don't advertise.
Yeah,
You won't
yeah.
find Protege on any billboard, but I get calls from all around the country. Recently, Protege Consultants expanded to New Jersey,
Yes.
North Carolina, as well as California. So I'm very grateful for these opportunities that have been presented to me. Protege Consultant came to fruition by mentoring.
Okay.
I was like, these are my proteges, right? I didn't want to call them mentees.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I have a 50-year-old person. I don't want to call them a mentee, which in actuality, from a business standpoint, they are, but they're my protege. To know that I've touched a life, to know that
that's
a
good.
mother is able to come together using godly principles or using their faith, no
Yes.
matter where they're at, and still be able to support their family and to
Yes.
run a business, made me feel good at night. And one of the things that I do is every night that I lay down, tired or not tired, I say, Lord, whose life did I touch today? Did I leave their presence and they were okay? So my daily activity, I strive to make sure that every encounter that I have is positive. Now, I'm not always there because we're human, right?
Sure.
But I make sure that every encounter is impacting on positive. That
Yes.
if you leave my presence, you're going to go build an empire.
Yes. And you know, one of the things I love about you the most, and I need my viewers to know this, is that that's what you do. You do that for me. When I leave this woman's presence, I feel like I can build another side of Florida. You just feel like you have strength that comes from everywhere, especially from the Lord. So, you know, I just appreciate what you do. I appreciate the impact that you are having. And I noticed that she's a workaholic. She would stay up 72 hours straight just consulting it. You put yourself in it. You to me, you take ownership. Once they have retained you, it's like you get this thing like, this is mine and I'm not going to mishandle it. You do it with a spirit of excellence. You even put them in their place. It's their vision, but you let them know the order of things, you know, and how this thing, because at the end of the day, you are representing God, and I appreciate that about you. Listen, I don't want you to click away. I don't want you to go anywhere. Stay right there. We have some questions, some hard questions for my guest today, Lisa Darling. We'll be right back.
I can't pretend to know what you're going through, but you know, God does not allow pain without purpose.
That man is still in there fighting for his son's life.
This beautiful world of right and wrong. Are you a God-loving man?
Yes.
Then you will be vindicated.
Once we love one another in spite of our differences, once we love one another in spite of our flaws, let them know I am with you.
I'm here with the Dr. Brother Kevin Mullins. Kevin Mullins, thank you for being a part of the Open Door TV with Dr. Josh. Tell us, what does Open Door mean to you?
One, it's an honor to be here with Dr. Josh, and I'm excited, especially about being on the show. The theme itself about the Open Door is something that really gets my juices flowing as it relates to revelation and really navigating the complexities of life with the skill set that is necessary to live life unlimited. You know, most of the time as born again believers, we know that the Bible said that Jesus is the door. Problem is that we get so effectuated on the born again experience, we come to the door and then we stop. This show with Dr. Josh is going to help you not just walk through the door, but once behind the door, it's going to be an incredible tool to help you unlock the secrets that's inside of the kingdom. So it's an honor to be here. Make sure you catch this show every single week.
Thank you.
Well, welcome back, and I'm here again with Lisa Darling. She said some powerful things, some profound things, and one of the things, Lisa, that I want to go back to, you mentioned about the mother, how they taught you how to do chicken about 10 different ways. So how impactful, as a matter of fact, how important is it that you surround yourself with people that can give you real direction, you know, and show you how to create a growing atmosphere, a atmosphere where you can, you know, save. Like I hear my Bishop Todd Hall, he often says, save your money so your money will save you later. You know, like save your money now and your money will save you later. How important was it for that mother to speak into your life?
It's very important. My upbringing is a little bit different because, and this is for any woman out there that feel like, hey, I don't have a mother. Well, I went through 12 foster homes and was adopted at 8. And God ordained the steps that I'm in now because it was a Christian family that adopted me.
That's powerful.
And so I was introduced to God. I learned how to be a mother. I learned how to be a virtuous woman, right? I learned that due to the foundation of my adopted parents. Then I was fortunate enough, because a lot of adopted children don't have their biological family, and I had my biological mother and father also.
Okay.
So as I like to say, and just as we say, I learned the streetness of it as well as the modest and the spiritual upbringing. I had a praying father. Sometimes it wasn't an alarm clock that woke us up. It was that dad at 5 o'clock in the morning on his knees calling on Jesus.
That's good.
So that was important for me, and that's what helped me. I kind of sought out individuals, you know, and that's again how Protege became to be. You know, it was the 8th grade is a rough year. Middle school is a rough year.
Yes.
So it was that one teacher that I didn't realize until 10 years later was a Christian and a pastor's wife.
Okay.
But God strategically aligned me to be her mentee, right? She was my teacher, but she poured into my life faith when I felt like giving up, when I felt like even at a young age. So I got married at 16. Right, to my kid's father, and I didn't know. Right, he's Caribbean. I wasn't culturally competent at that time. At 16-year-old, had a scholarship for one of the major institutes in the United States, and I did not go on with that because of that marriage. So I was forced to kind of cling to individuals who I saw that I wanted to model, because all I heard in church was fruit. What fruit are you producing?
Yeah.
So if you're, you know, we talk about the Beatitudes even, you know, that was important for me. So I look for individuals that show love.
Okay.
I look for individuals that were peacemakers. I look for individuals that just were kind, had nothing to do with their hair, their clothes, their attire. It maybe was a derelict person. I've looked at a homeless person pumping gas and treat him just like I would one of my CEOs or senators that I've, you know, met and collaborated with over the years. I don't treat them any different. I'm pumping gas. How's your day going? I've learned that they're a former baseball player, you know, and have these great conversations, you know, where nobody else may ask. You know, our society has changed now, but just treating every person as an individual, no matter
so important.
no matter what the lifestyle is.
Yes.
So mentorship is so important to me because I contribute that to my success today.
Well, now that you touch on mentorship, and I appreciate everything that you just said, and like I said, it's so important to treat people with that love, that God love, that agape, that I believe that the world has lost. Okay, you know, even in the church, we don't find that real true love anymore. But I want to segue into this now. my mentor and spiritual mother is Dr. Cindy Trim, right? And so, of course, along with my mother, Dr. Ray, but she is a woman of excellence. She's a woman in business and has built this conglomerate. It's multifaceted. It's just amazing how she operates and functions. And I often want to ask her, but since you're sitting here today, I want to ask you, when did you know it was the right time to emerge in this male-dominant world? And many industries is dominated by male. You know, the male species, for lack of a better phrase or way to say it. But how did you know when it was that time? You know, because you have a great testimony, and I know you all are blessed, because many of you grew up in adopted homes and, you know, maybe foster care or whatever. And some of us use those things as excuses not to do. Okay, but you turned that thing around and look at you today. Okay, so I want to know, how did you know when to emerge, when it was the right time to move forward?
I've always felt the opportunity to do something different. Okay. So it's like, you know, when you go through foster homes and when you don't have a foundation from a child,
okay,
you're always looking for something to change, right? So you're forever in a state of change.
Yes.
So there is no such thing as permanent. For me, it wasn't. Okay. So whether it was a relationship, whether it was a house, there is no, because that's all I know from birth, right? That is constant change. So even in my career, it was like, I master this, so what's next?
Okay.
Call center, master this, what's next? You give me a task, I master it, what's next?
Okay.
So you gotta always be ready. I tell any entrepreneur to jump.
Oh, wow.
You gotta always be ready to take a risk. That's what it's about.
I have another question, just a couple more questions for you. Okay. I want to pick your brains a little bit. But can you give us the pecking order for women in business? Like, is there an order? Is there a way that we go about doing things?
So for me, it was about, my faith plays a lot in my decision making. Okay. And everything I do is on faith, right? Hope is on faith. So I acknowledge the God that I serve. I acknowledge, and I just take that faith walk. In 2016, I decided to take a major faith walk and come out of corporate America.
Okay.
Does that mean I will never go back in corporate America? No. That's just the season where I was in 2016. Okay. I've worked state, I've worked county government, and I've worked private sector. And I just saw a need to serve people. Okay. Right? So I typed up, I didn't even know to give 2 weeks. Do I give 3 weeks? Do I give 4 weeks? I gave 4 weeks notice.
Okay.
I was like, where you going? Home. What are you gonna do? Don't know yet.
Wow.
I'll figure it out. And, you know, sometimes God laughs at when we say, okay, God, this is what I'm gonna do, this is how I'm gonna do it. And it's hilarious, I'm sure, to him. I'm sure he's just laughing, because he ordained my steps. Oh, he ordained them. He knew my clients before I even knew them. Absolutely. You know, and one day I prayed a prayer, and sometimes I go back and say, I know I prayed this prayer, but I prayed a prayer. My clients, and when they come and how they come, is none of my business.
That's good.
Because in all things, acknowledge him, right? Acknowledge him. I decided that's none of my business. That next paycheck is none of my business, right? How I'm gonna, location. I think you were part of the location for one of my offices. Yes. A flood happened, and that flood needed to happen for me to get greater. That's right. Right? In a smaller office. That's it. Right? That's it. So I'm humbled and I'm grateful, because you've watched me over the years come to where I am today and continue to go. But I think it's important for women, for men, for children, because there are so many children right now, young kids that's starting. You know, we're beyond the lemonade stand. Children are creating T-shirts. They're creating their own T-shirt lines. They are graphing, they're coding.
Yes.
You know, the STEM is really big right now.
Yes, absolutely.
So it is important to, you know, a lot of times we use that scripture, train up a child, but it's beyond a tight fist and a rod, right?
Absolutely, yes.
It's about pouring into them, right? Because we're raising our next president. We're raising our next senator.
Yes.
We don't know. We're raising our next prince
That's
or
it.
queen, as we've seen
That's it.
in this upcoming
Absolutely.
year. So it is important to just, there was no timing for me. It was just, you know what? I had an urge. I had a feeling. Okay, Lord, this is the season I'm in. This is the purpose.
Yes.
I think once you find your purpose and say, I could do that for free.
Yes.
I'll sit up and talk to you for free.
Yes.
Now you have to be business about it, and that's a whole nother show.
Another show, right? Exactly.
But there's order to that.
Yes.
There's order. We can have our passion and we can go because I believe tithes is more than monetary.
Yes.
It's our time and our talents,
Absolutely.
right? So if you find what your talent is, then you can give your time, which will ultimately lead to your tithe.
That's it. Did y'all hear? That is absolutely phenomenal. I appreciate that so much. We have one final question for you, but we're going to get to that when we come back. Don't click me out. We'll be right back after these messages. God bless you. Are you struggling in your prayer life? Does the heaven feel like brass? I have a tool for you that will help launch you in your prayer life. The power of prayer and praise. This book will help you. It will help give you direction. I want you to order your copy today. You can go to jraysutton.org, or you can reach out to us at the Open Door TV Official. Again, that's the Open Door TV Official. Get your copy today. So we're coming back, and you were giving us some great I'm about the pecking order, and you gave us, I want to say, talent. Talent is turns into time. I'm getting this right, y'all. And time turns into time. Just briefly, kind of go back to that, and let's circle back to that, and then we'll move forward.
So a lot of times when you're in transition in life and you don't know your next steps, sometimes it impacts on your giving,
Yes.
right? To wherever you worship, it impacts. So sometimes you just got to go out. I'm a believer that sometimes your, as I said earlier, your tithe is also more than monetary.
Yes.
Right? So if you find your passion,
There you go.
find your passion. Your passion is your time.
Yes.
It makes room for you to have a financial gain, and then you can drop those seeds and bless others, as well as where your house of worship is at.
Absolutely, that's
Because as Christians, you're taught to pay tithe, right?
Yes.
A tenth of your earnings. So, and it's important to even give beyond that, right? Yes. Because this is work that our leaders do, and now in the season that we're in, a lot of leaders are traveling international. They're putting their lives and their families. So it's important to bless the man or woman of God as you travel along your journeys. Over time, I think another thing that was important for me was the importance of sowing seeds.
Yes.
So of blessing others with the information.
Are you getting this? This is some good information. I want to ask you, because you mentioned challenges. Okay, so as a female minority, and again, you're in a male dominant, industry, mostly all industries anyway. How can you help us, or how can you direct us to, move in that, in whatever field? Because there's a mother sitting, there's a mom, maybe a young girl. They need that direction. So can you help them with that real quick?
So going back to what I said earlier about the importance of just taking that step and just following the order, following God's order, putting him first, in all things acknowledge him. Me being a minority female in the industry that I'm in, it has not stop me.
Good.
All my clients are males.
Oh, that's interesting.
All my clients are males.
Okay.
They're from all over the world.
Yes.
I have Arabic. I have Indians. I have, clients from everywhere.
Yes.
So God has really strategically aligned me, and me being culturally competent and diverse in my service has enabled me to continue to grow. The only challenge that I would say sometimes that I face, which is vital, it is so vital, is self-care.
Okay.
As being a go-getter, as being a mother, a wife, just all around friend,
Yes.
or a mentor, a life coach. Sometimes as women, we tend to not take care of ourselves.
Absolutely.
And that's not always intentional, but I can tell you, I've had some sleepless days.
Yes.
I've, plane rides, and anytime I put my name on something, that's my brand.
Okay.
So there's the Lisa R. Darling brand. There's the Protege Consultants brand.
That's good.
And anything in between that, it comes back to Lisa R. Darling.
Yes, yes.
So the
yes.
check may be wrote to the company, but who's behind the company?
That's right.
So you have
That's
to make
good.
sure that you connect when you're retaining and hiring assistants to help you reach your goals.
Okay.
You want to make sure that those individuals align with your mission.
Don't neglect yourself. That challenge about self-care is very important. You have to take care of yourself, take care of your mind, take care of your everything, your spirit. And one thing I love that you said acknowledge God. Our steps are ordered by the Lord. The Bible says the steps of a good man, they are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. To everything, there's a time, there's a season, there's a purpose to everything under the sun. Thank you, Lisa, again, for all of what God has given you today to give to us and to our viewers. I want you to look into that camera, and I want you to, number one, tell our viewers where they can find you and follow you, and close out. Give them something that they'll never forget.
If you're looking to change your life in 2019 by making that next move, it doesn't have to be a big move, but just that next move. If you're tired of the same job and tired of just doing the same old thing over and over, go to our website, Protege Consultants, Protege Consultants, consultants.com. You can reach us at 561-291-9711. 561-291-9711. We travel all over the United States, so we take individuals to organization to their next step in leadership in the industry and the people they serve.
And there we have it, Lisa Darling, who has given us strategies, next steps. It's your hour. Your steps have been ordered. This is your time. Do not neglect to open the door. Go through the door. There's something powerful waiting for you on the other side of the door. I'll see you next time on The Open Door. God bless you.
Thank you.